I stole a candy bar once when my dad told me I couldn't have it. He made me go inside and pay for it, and then he ate it. Never stole after that. Dude, him eating it is the cherry on top. That's awesome. I bet you learned a lesson that day, ma'am. This is one of those mornings for me where I'm gonna keep clearing my throat like I'm a dad getting up for work at like 4 in the morning. Sorry, I don't know what it is. You know what? I kind of know what it is. I put milk in my coffee, and it's not my favorite thing on the esophagus because the longer I talk, the worse this gets, the more annoying it is. I'm gonna die. How are you guys doing today? We're looking at Madlads. So let's hippity hop right on over there, shall we? I'm wired! If you're feeling lazy, just know that my mom just asked my brother to vacuum his room, but he YouTubed a vacuum sound and laid in bed instead. I'm freaking crying. The apprentice at work has been told not to come back because he's got given 20 pounds by the boss to get buy rolls of tape, and he's came back 30 minutes later with a Mackey's and no tape. Unreal, man. Okay, I get it. That is crazy. The balls on that guy, the absolute mad balls on that dude. Very funny. Please, for the love of Christ, learn to type and spell your words, my man. I'm sorry. You might not be a native English speaker, but I'm pretty sure you are. I've got a sneaky suspicion, and reading that made me wish I got hit by a truck instead. I hate you. I asked my boyfriend to rate our relationship on a scale of 1 to 7. He said 5. It would have been 6, but he decided to deduct a point for me asking. Wait, what's the reason behind it being a 6 then? And also, why the hell are you asking on a scale of 1 to 7? Why? I'm just really curious about your scale more than anything else here in this situation. My coworker told me he got banned from a bar when he lived in North Dakota back in 1973 and didn't try going back to it for 30 years. But he finally did, and the moment he stepped in, someone yelled, "Get the hell out of here, Dennis!" And that's probably my favorite story ever. I have often wondered about the banned for life ordeal, because it seems like no matter what, when you are banned for life, someone will remember you. They'll have like a photo of you from 20, 30, 40 years ago up on the wall. They mean business. They stand on that business, and it is incredible to see. I kind of want to get banned from a place just to see if they will remember me in 30 years, because I'm going to look plenty different, that's for sure. It kind of reminds me, not to the same extent whatsoever, but the first time I went to Disney World was like, 2016, 2015, something like that. I can't quite remember. But there was a bartender at our Disney resort there who served me a non-alcoholic drink because I wasn't 21 yet. And then when I turned 21, we went back years later. Same woman working behind the counter, recognized me, even knew my name. It was kind of freaky. "Oh, you're 21 now? Here, well, let me get you a beer." Like, it was so freaking weird, man. 100 to 0. U.S. Senate passes no tax on tips act. My barber just offered me a $1 haircut if I tipped him $50. So did this actually pass? Are we not going to tax tips anymore? Not that I don't mind that. Who gives a shit? Besides, if you get cash tips, shh. I didn't make that money. Shh. No, I didn't hand you $20. Shh. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. When I was 9, I loved Beyblades. I told my dad about them and told him I wanted to be the strongest Beyblader at my school. He asked to see my Beyblade. After inspecting it, he made the observation that weight was the deciding factor in which Beyblade won, and weight came from the metal core at the Beyblade's center. So, he created a custom core for me, a very heavy one. I took my Beyblade to school the next day, and in my first game, I cracked my opponent's Beyblade in 2. After that, nobody wanted to play against my weighted one. I was the king. Ha! Okay, so your dad rules for that? Your dad scientifically redesigned your toy so that you, at 9 years old, would truly be the strongest Beyblader at your school. But now that you've told the world this is how this works, you've pulled the ladder up behind you. There are no more kids that are going to be able to be the strongest Beyblader because they're all going to understand how to make theirs invincible, man. Do you not see what you have done, Mary? God, I love reading about stupid drama in ancient Greece. Like, there was an athlete named I don't know how to say that name. You know what? I'll say it like a standard American. Theogenes. There we go. Who was so good at every kind of athletic contest that when he died, one of his opponents would go to beat the shit out of a statue of him out of spite. But then one day the statue fell on the guy and killed him, so the Greeks took the statue to court for murder, convicted it, and threw it into the sea. Actually, I left out the best part of this story, which is that a plague then struck, and when people consulted the oracle at Delphi, she was like, or Delphi, I don't know, well, you pissed off Theogenes. So they had to go and dig the statue back up out of the frickin' water. I feel like there's even more to this story that we're not getting, and I desperately need to know what's going on. A statue? Really? A guy who was just so good at every sport that he's God, I guess, and can curse the land? My son came home with this last night. Hey, I like your cow. Oh, that's my calf. Honestly, I like it. That's an S+ tier tattoo, in my opinion. See, for me, it doesn't have to mean anything. Sure, it's a joke, and I like that. That's a fun joke tattoo. That's rare to actually see, because usually if there's a joke tattoo involved, you really regret it. I hope you don't regret this one because it's cute, okay? Tattoos don't have to be meaningful. They just have to be something that you like, or find funny, or whatever. This is always going to be funny, in my humblest of opinions. This man just told me his secret. Ordering the halloumi burger with chicken is 1 pound cheaper than the chicken burger with halloumi at Weatherspoons. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. I'm probably not. It doesn't really matter. Honestly, that's kind of funny that they just never noticed that. Or maybe they did notice that, and they wanted more people to figure that out for some reason, and only this one guy has. Some people pay attention to the menus. The rest of us are just there to eat. That's like the whole point for me. I'm not doing math or trying to get back at the establishment. Just give me my burger. My 4-year-old son slipped half a corn cob in a water bottle and called it corn water, screwed it tight, checks it daily, guards it scrupulously. And tonight, he took a healthy sip, announced it needs another day. I just realized he's making moonshine? Well, he's a 4-year-old, so no, obviously not, unless he was actually a moonshiner in another life and he's been reincarnated as your child. That could be possible, I suppose. And honestly, you might want to keep him around, because moonshining, woo, we love that. We want to make something good and strong for the end of the world. That coffee's hot. Woo! Tastes like just the way I like it. Yelled downstairs, Mom, Dad's home. She did not find it as funny as I did. Oh, come on, Mom. That's hilarious. Dad probably would have laughed his ass off, okay? So think about it that way. Dude, when I die, I want people to have a fantastic time. Hell, ignore me. At my funeral or whatever, don't wear black. I want you to show up dressed in rainbows and gay shit. I want you to dance around, watch old videos of mine, maybe make fun of me for some of my EmKay escapades, my EmKapades, if you will. You know, just be happy that you got to know me. Unless you hate me, in which case, like, then don't celebrate. You can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? You could celebrate in your own way if you hated me. But I want people to celebrate my life. You could celebrate my death. I got a notification saying my Lyft driver was deaf and to text him anything I needed to say. So I texted him saying thank you for picking me up. This man turned around to me and said, no problem, bro. You can talk to me. I just say that I'm deaf so my passengers don't talk to me. Honestly, like, it's funny. It is, but that's f***ed up. My boyfriend died last year, so I'm just trying to get back into the dating scene, really. Damn, that's sad. On our first date, we should use a Ouija board and get his permission to smash. What the f*** is wrong with you? No. This guy's onto something. He's thinking about your boyfriend. I mean, that's kind of nice. You know, it's really polite, thinking about your boyfriend. I mean, look, if he was gonna be a pig, he could have been way worse about it. I'm just kidding. That's, if this is real, holy shit, you should just, like, maybe join the dead boyfriend so he could kick your ass. This guy had checks of, oh yes, the guy who printed checks of him and his new wife. See, I'll never understand marrying someone if you can even slightly foresee that you will literally despise them later on. I know that you can't always see 40 years into the future or whatever, but I feel like it's not hard to have an inkling about the person you are going to marry. Genuinely, I don't see how it could be hard. Looking into the future, especially if you've already been together for multiple years up to that point, are you sure there's nothing you could find that might save you some heartbreak and maybe save that other person some heartbreak. Never been happier. I love my wife is actually insane to put on there. I don't know their situation, but maybe this dude needs to chill the literal out because that's actually psychotic behavior. Again, I don't know what happened. She might have tried to kill him or something. Who knows? I rent a house to this guy named Dusty. He's always getting himself into wild situations. This one takes the cake. Hey, Mike, we got a problem. The front door to the house is knocked clear off the hinges. Really? What happened? It was an emergency, but only like 40% my fault. 40%? Yep. Locked myself out by accident and really had to use the bathroom. Had to kick it down. Are you serious? I understand, but you're gonna have to pay to have that fixed. I understand. Did you at least make it in time to use the bathroom? Negative. I shit my pants when I drop kicked the door in. Well, hopefully Dusty learns from this little incident. And you know what? I gotta give him props for saying it was only 40% his fault, but still going, I get it, I'll pay for the door. Like, have you ever had to shit so bad that you will break a door down, even though there is the risk of crapping your pants the second you do it? I have never in my life had to shit that bad. Never. And I hope to never, ever, ever have to be in that situation. Automatic reply. Ooh! I'm out of the office enjoying my life. I hope this place burns to the ground in my absence. If I don't stumble into a giant pile of money, I will return on September 16th to deal with whatever bullshit you're emailing about. I feel like more people on vacation should be legally allowed to have this exact stance when they're on vacation. Like, really, don't touch me. I'm gone, okay? We get 4 microseconds of vacation time here in the US. You better believe I'm gonna be an asshole about it. You talk to me, I'll beat you up when I get back. Trust me on that one, okay? And if I am that necessary, I'm getting a raise when I get back because I learned something about my job today. Oh, yes, sir, I did. Oh, awful here. Awful stuff. I knew a single guy in college that wore a fake wedding ring because it helped him get attention from women. He slept with dozens of women that thought he was cheating on his wife with them. When he told them he was single afterwards, they were all outraged. Yes, we also have seen this one before, and I'm still like, no. That just seemed... Look, if the story is real, that's crazy, but I just have to doubt it, you know? I've got a sneaky suspicion most women aren't psychos who get a rise out of getting a dude to cheat on their wives with them. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not a woman. Ladies, what do you guys think about this situation? Do you think it's bullshit or do you think it's accurate? Do you think it really happened? Sound off in the comments down the below. I had a farmer patient who used to self-treat his atrial fibrillation by touching the electric fence. Now, did that work? Or did that cause a lot more? It probably caused a lot more damage, but that's... Farmers are built different, dude. You have to admit, they're built different. Like, there's a lot we could say about farmers here in the United States right now, not really voting in their own self-interests, but, you know, they are built different. Sometimes wrong, sometimes so wrong that they are able to treat atrial fibrillation by shocking themselves with a fence. One time I almost got fired because a district manager asked me how long it would take to fix someone's inventory up on the computer, and I said, an hour and a half. And they went, how long will it take with my help? And I said, 3 hours. Yeah, I'm sorry. If they almost fired you for that, they need to be fired. I'm not kidding. If that's your attitude, when you're not the IT professional here, are you? You're not the professional here. You're a district manager. This isn't your job. Of course it's gonna take longer because you'll get in the way, you'll ask stupid goddamn questions. You're not gonna help. Sure, it's a smart-ass response, but if you fire somebody for this, you don't deserve your job, buddy. That's insane. My sister's about to have a baby and my brother showed up to the hospital in a suit because first impressions matter. What? He's right. Why are you booing him? My neighbors fly a flag that's just a picture of their house, and that's the energy I'm going to have if I can ever actually afford a house. Probably not. Probably not. Look, I've tried this successful YouTube game many times and it no worky, so probably not. But you can bet if I ever do get a house, I'm gonna do this same shit because I'll be proud that I actually got to a point where I could do that. Never forget when I lived in Florida. I was talking to this guy and found out he had a girlfriend. I found her Instagram, messaged her, we met up, took a selfie, and posted it to screw with him. He screenshotted the selfie and posted it on his Instagram and said, both my girls looking good for real. How did you guys respond to that, though? That's the real question. Like, yeah, that's a mad lad, ballsy sort of move, but did you guys go, okay, that kind of rules. Did you guys, like, find it endearing? Or did you double down and go, yeah, okay, this guy's a psycho. We gotta get rid of this dude for sure. Goalkeeper Sam Bartman, alone on the pitch, not realizing that the game had been abandoned 15 minutes earlier due to heavy fog. Oh, come on. Come on, man. What, you're all too scared to play in the fog? Dude, that's lame. They totally could have continued that game. It's football. Who cares? I used to be a glassblower and still occasionally do it as a hobby. My grandson asked me to make him a special vase for Christmas, and he gave me a picture of a The idiot thinks I don't know what it is, so I'm gonna make him a huge glass instead. I love that that's clearly a 19-year-old pretending to be like an 85-year-old, you know? No way Grandpa has this kind of sense of humor on the internet. I refuse to believe it. Sorry, I just spit up all over my keyboard. I'm talking at a very loud volume today. Am I a bad mom for letting my son cut his hair like Mr. Burns? No. He's not gonna like it after like an hour, but luckily, it's very easy to just shave the rest off in this case. Very easy to get rid of the rest of it and let it grow back out, you know? When it comes to haircuts, if you don't mind buzzing it all the way down like that, you could try anything you want, right? Met a bunch of guys from Harvard yesterday. Yes, you keep pretending that you don't know what it is. What? Okay, you know what? I gotta ask it. Folks in the comments, folks watching, folks listening, whatever, are any of you Harvard alumni or currently going to Harvard? Do we have that kind of demographic here on EmKay? Do you guys go? And if we do have any, again, sound off down below for me because I'm very interested, okay? Would this actually piss you off? Does going to Harvard, is it a big deal if people pretend or act like they're not impressed because you went to Harvard? Is that a thing? Do you guys get pissy if I don't give a shit about you going to Harvard? Like, I'm curious. There's probably gonna be like one guy who responds to this query, but I'm curious. My dad casually shouted at my brother during his hockey game. Maybe if you didn't vape, you wouldn't be sucking for air right now. And 20 people turned around to look at us. That's valid, though. Especially during a hockey game, that's valid. Maybe if you weren't doing something incredibly bad for your lungs, you wouldn't have trouble breathing at the moment. Had an interview today, and my belly rumbled. The lady goes, "Missed lunch?" I told her, "Nah, I'm hungry for success." That's the sort of thing that would probably get you the job immediately, right? It's cheesy, it's stupid, but it's beautiful. It has to work. How often are you going to be in a place like that where your tummy grumbles? Husband and I reminiscing about the time I texted him on my way home. "Can you start cooking those sausages?" Then added a heart as a cute little heart. He cooked 2 sausages. I've been attending interviews just to turn them down. So I kind of have a new hobby. I apply for jobs and attend interviews with no intention of taking the jobs. For the past 4 months, I've been applying for jobs on Indeed. I make up the qualifications they ask for on paper. I'm the perfect candidate, but in reality, I don't exist. Why do I do this? Well, I like to dress up, and it feels like a real sense of occasion. I get to have a nice day out and visit new places. I go to the barbers to get a clean shave, grab breakfast, coffee. I feel great. I look great. I walk into the interview room perfectly calm because I'm not worried about getting the job, and I completely flip the script. What benefits does the company provide? Why should I work there? How are you competitive to other businesses in your area? The reactions I get range from confusion to interviewers convincing me that I should work there. Day 6 of torturing my math teacher every time she gives me homework. Is he the boiled one? I don't really know. Do you think they even care? I started joining every Google Meet 30 seconds early. When you join early, everyone's virtual note takers join early too. I spend the first few minutes screaming about how I'm on the Titanic. We've just hit an iceberg and the end is near, and I need immediate assistance. I then do the rest of the meeting normally. When the chat ends, or when the meeting ends, everyone gets an emailed transcript where the AI summary is, "Chris hit an iceberg, is trapped on a sinking ship, and general Q2 pricing updates. Bike still for sale? Yes, it is. What's the lowest you'll go on it? 2 miles per hour. Anything less than that, and you'll tip over." I hate people that say, "What's the lowest you'll go on it?" That's not how negotiating works. If you ask me that, I'll put the price I listed it for. That's incredibly stupid, and that's not how this works, okay? Being an independent contractor sucks for a lot of reasons, but it also affords you the unique ability to tell people to fuck off in delightful ways. Hi, Caleb. I was just informed you weren't on the morning stand-up call this morning. How come? Yeah, dude, I was asleep. I basically never joined those. Going forward, morning meetings are a requirement for employment at blank. I expect you to be on the next call tomorrow at 9 a.m. Man, that sucks for you guys, but I'm not an employee. My contract says nothing about required hours or daily meetings. You really need an attitude adjustment. If you aren't on the next call, you're fired. Your choice. You can fire me if you want, but you guys have to pay me through the 18th of next month regardless, so I'm definitely sleeping in tomorrow. Enjoy your meeting. You guys really ought to read the contracts you have assigned sometime. Pretty wild stuff in there. Please call me. No. Yeah, no one reads contracts, dude. A guy joined my office 6 months ago, and within a week, he texted me asking for some money. I found it very weird, and later learned from some colleagues that he had texted them as well. Because of this, we started avoiding him in the office and stopped inviting him to office parties. Today, I met him at a bike club, and he had a Harley Davidson. We talked for a while, and I jokingly asked him, "Bro, why do you need Udar when you can afford a Harley?" He replied that he didn't really need the money. He's an introvert and doesn't like talking to people. Asking for money from colleagues makes them avoid him in the office. Don't do this. Introvert or not, don't do this, man. Introverts can still get lonely. Introverts can still feel really bad, and you might think it's cute or funny in the interim, but dude, at a certain point, this is gonna start with you, all right? People genuinely not inviting you, not thinking about you, not wanting to speak to you, not wanting to look at you or be around you. That can you up. And there's not really any way to undo it. What are you gonna do? Stand on a milk carton in front of the entire office and go, haha, it was all in jest. I was merely doing a social experiment. No, that's not, don't do that. That's weird. Men honestly are something else. Do you have a paperclip? On the floor by my file cabinet. That is some organized chaos. And yes, we have also seen this one before a few dozen times. My friend joins the Discord call and it sounds like she's radioing in from Antarctica and she's like, I hope it doesn't sound too bad. I'm using a modified payphone as a mic, then proceeds to send this to the chat. I'm not even gonna lie, that's actually mad impressive. Like, what do you need to do to modify an old landline handset in order to work over Discord? What the hell? I kind of want to do this now, man. I've been trying to figure out for some little experiment over on my own channel, Robin Nelson, that you can go check out. And please check it out because somehow I have a negative revenue balance over there and I need some help. I've been trying to figure out how to like set up an actual phone to take actual calls and whatnot. So, not like this, but this person could be the first step on an amazing journey. My dad took a selfie with a pigeon. I'm screaming. Honestly impressed if he got that to work at all. Police station. Got arrested for not carrying my identity card. Treated me very well. Cells are spacious and clean. Food was okay, but rice for 3 times is a bit boring. Handcuff was a bit corroded, but it's okay. It does the job right. The officers are friendly. Overall, it was a nice experience. It's her summer break, so I woke my 12-year-old daughter up at 5:15 this morning. I've been waiting for this revenge since she was 4. When she asked me why I was up, I told her my blanket fell off the bed. If you censor anything in a post, you're legally required to put all of the omitted vowels at the end as a footnote. Ew! Okay then, if you're sure about this, Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. In 2020, 2 men turned Earth into a sandwich by placing bread on precise points of the planet. Spain and New Zealand. That's one awful sandwich. Yesterday, a mate of mine told the driver of the black Corsa not to park in the company's parking space for the upteenth time. He gave my mate attitude and ignorance, so we put scaffolding around his car. Every year, our aunt in Maine sends us little handmade chocolate lobsters. This year, they're soap. Guess how I found out? Oh, come on, she should have warned you. In the early 2000s, my university charged like $300 for summer storage, but you could buy surplus FIM-29 Stinger launcher cases for $200. So I put my clothes and books in this one, sunk it into the river by my dorm, and retrieved it fall semester. They're hard to find now, and I regret selling it. Yeah, I still don't believe this happened. Nope, I can't. I don't know why you would sink it into the river by your dorm. You couldn't just, like, bury it? That seems a little more normal to me. You know, sneak out in the night with a shovel, you know? That feels more correct. When I was in high school, we had a sex ed class, and the woman spoke with a British accent the whole time. At the end of it, she talked in her normal voice and said that's how easily someone could lie to you about their sexual status, so it's better to be safe. Man, that must have been one hella convincing accent, though. Honestly impressive if she could keep that up for an entire 45-minute class and none of y'all notice a goddamn thing. Because I feel like you can pick up on a bad fake British accent, because most of us do really bad British accents here, all right? Ever since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to get on a fire truck. I'm tempted to just walk my grown ass over to a fire station and just ask. Oh my god, it worked. Yeah, if there's nothing going on, dude, firefighters love just letting people take a look at stuff. They love people being interested in what they do, understanding why it's important, checking out the big, cool fire truck, all that, you know? Firefighters are pretty cool, man. Love them. Watched my uncle get crushed in a game of cornhole at a family picnic. He complained it was because he didn't have a beer in his other hand as a counterweight. Okay, let's see here. I'll be damned if he didn't grab one, and like it was Thor's hammer, won the next 10 straight games he played. In 2008, Vermont prison inmates participated in a program producing decals for police cars. They altered the design to hide a pig in the image. 30 police cars drove around Vermont with the hidden pig for 4 years before it was discovered. Honestly, based as hell. It has come to my attention that some of you don't know my English teacher in high school was my own father. On the first day of class, he said, "I want you all to know I'm only sleeping with one of your mothers." This is my villain origin story. Dude, I would have kicked my dad in the nuts after that. Man buries vodka weeks before music festival and digs it up when it's on. I mean, that's just smart planning right there. Really smart planning. I'm a waitress at a venue that does at least 2 weddings a month. Over 4 years of working there, I shagged 8 best men, 2 bridesmaids, a groom, and multiple times was offered a threesome with the married couple, but they've always backed out from after having a chance to sober up a bit. That's disgusting. I hope you're not a waitress at Josh and Katie's wedding where I'm best man at the whatever hotel on July 16, 2022 starting at 3 p.m. Ample parking. Once I went to a party with my husband, full of people he knew from work, but I didn't. A guy came up to us, turned to me and said, "You must be his wife." I turned to my husband and said, "You have a wife?" Should have seen the guy's face. An Australian man typed every number from 1 to 1,000,000 in words, not numbers, on his typewriter. It took him 16 years. Well, you gotta have hobbies, and I'm glad this guy's got one. I forgot my boyfriend's phone was dead, so when he went to the bathroom, I decided to roam around Walmart. About 20 minutes later, I hear, "Alyssa Stockton, your child is at register 10. So I walked over there, and there he is, my boyfriend, sitting there on the bench, pouting that I left him. That's awesome. My uncle got the job, y'all. He just finished his last Zoom interview. Look, we make do.